Nutrition science. The My Plate Nutrition science. My Plate dietary guidelines. My Plate is a food guide to help Americans achieve the goals of the dietary guidelines for Americans. For most people, this means eating more whole grains, fruits, vegetables, especially dark green vegetables and red and orange vegetables, legumes, seafood to replace some meals of meat and poultry, low-fat dairy. It also means eating less refined grains, added sugars, solid fats such as saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol, and sodium. Foods are grouped into 5 different foods based on their nutrient content. The following table summarizes the different food groups, examples of foods that fall within each group, and nutrients provided for each food group. Whole grains includes brown rice, oats, whole wheat bread, cereal and pasta, popcorn. Refined grains, typically tortillas, couscous, noodles, naan, pancakes, although sometimes these products can be whole grains as well. For more foods and what counts as a cup, check out the Grain Group Food Gallery. Dark green vegetables like broccoli, kale, and spinach, red and orange vegetables, bell peppers, carrots, and tomatoes, starchy vegetables like corn, peas, and potatoes, beans and peas, hummus, lentils, and black beans. Other vegetables such as asparagus, avocado, and zucchini. Fresh berries such as melons and other fruit, as well as 100% fruit juice. Fruits can also be canned, frozen, or dried, and may be whole, cut up, or pureed. Meats include poultry, seafood, beans and peas, eggs, nuts, and seeds are the part of the Protein Group Food Gallery. For the Daily Group Food Gallery, this includes milk, yogurt, cheese, and calcium-fortified soy milk. Foods such as cream cheese, cream, and butter are not part of the dairy group as they have little to no calcium. Planning a healthy diet using the My Plate approach is not difficult. Fill half of your plate with a variety of fruits and vegetables, including red, orange, and dark green vegetables such as fruits, also kale, collard greens, tomatoes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, apples, oranges, grapes, bananas, blueberries, and strawberries in main and side dishes. Vary your choices to get the benefit of as many different vegetables and fruits as you can. 100% fruit juice is also an acceptable choice, as long as only half your fruit intake is replaced with juice. Fill a quarter of your plate with grains. Half of your daily grain intake should be whole grains such as 100% whole grain cereals, breads, crackers, rice, and pasta. Read the ingredients list on food labels carefully to determine if a food is comprised of whole grains. We will discuss how to identify whole grains in more detail later. Select a variety of protein foods to improve nutrient intake and promote health benefits. Each week, be sure to include a nice array of protein sources in your diet, such as nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, poultry, soy, and seafood. The recommended consumption amount for seafood for adults is 2 4-ounce servings per week. When choosing meat, select lean cuts. If you enjoy drinking milk or eating dairy products such as cheese and yogurt, choose low-fat or non-fat products. Low-fat and non-fat products contain the same amount of calcium and other essential nutrients as whole milk products, but with much less fat and calories. Calcium, an important mineral for your body, is also found in lactose-free dairy products and fortified plant-based beverages, like soy milk. You can also get calcium from vegetables and other fortified foods and beverages. Oils are also important in your diet as they contain valuable essential fatty acid. Oils like canola oil also contain more healthful, unsaturated fats compared to solid fats like butter. You can also get oils from whole foods like fish, avocados, and unsalted nuts and seeds. Although oils are essential for health, they do contain about 120 calories per tablespoon, so moderation is important. Some people have criticized the dietary guidelines for Americans and my plate for being influenced by political and economic interests, as the meat and dairy industries and large food companies have a powerful lobbying presence that may override scientific consensus. Dietary guidelines were criticized for failing to address sustainability, climate change, and the potential benefits of eating less meat and processed foods. In addition, the committee, made up of nutrition and science experts, recommend stricter limits on added sugars and alcohol consumption. The final version of the guidelines ignored these recommendations and stuck with the same advice about sugar and alcohol given in an earlier version of the guidelines. Another guide for creating healthy, balanced meals comes from Harvard's School of Public Health. The Healthy Eating Plate, or HEP, is based on the best available science and is not influenced by political or commercial pressures from food industry lobbyists. The Harvard's Healthy Eating Plate, the HEP message, is similar to my plate in that the focus is on diet quality, encouraging nutrient-dense whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and beans. However, there are a few key differences between my plate and HEP. For example, my plate recommends 3 cups of dairy a day, whereas HEP recommends limiting dairy to 1 to 2 cups per day, and instead encourages non-dairy sources of calcium like collards, bok choy, fortified soy milk, and baked beans. The HEP encourages protein sources from fish, poultry, beans, or nuts, and encourages consumers to limit red meat and avoid processed meat, since these foods raise the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and colon cancer. My plate, however, does not mention that red and processed meat should be limited. Nutrient density and empty calories. My plate encourages people to take a balanced approach and to eat a variety of nutrient-dense whole foods. To help people control calories and prevent weight gain, the USDA promotes the concept of nutrient density and empty calories. Nutrient density is a measure of the nutrients that we're usually trying to consume more of: vitamins, minerals, fiber, and protein per calorie of food, coupled with little or no solid fats, added sugars, refined starches, and sodium. For example, 90% lean 3-ounce ground beef patty is considered more nutrient dense than a 75% lean patty. In the 90% lean patty, for 184 calories, you get protein, iron, and other needed nutrients. On the other hand, the 75% lean patty has 236 calories, but the extra 52 calories added only solid fats and no other appreciable nutrients. All vegetables fruits, whole grains, seafood, eggs, beans and peas, unsalted nuts and seeds, fat-free and low-fat dairy products, and lean meats and poultry, when prepared with little or no added fats and sugars, are nutrient-dense foods. Foods become less nutrient-dense when they contain empty calories, calories from solid fats and/or added sugar. Solid fats and added sugars add calories to a food but don't provide other nutrients. Foods with empty calories have fewer nutrients per calorie, therefore they are less nutrient dense. Examples of foods high in empty calories include donuts, cakes, cookies, sweetened cereals and yogurt, sweetened beverages, high-fat meats, fried foods, and alcohol. Examples of nutrient-dense foods include whole grains like brown rice and whole wheat bread, and pasta, barley, and oatmeal, plain non-fat milk and yogurt, beans, nuts, and seeds, lean meats, whole fresh fruits and vegetables. You can choose more nutrient-dense foods by making small modifications to your current eating pattern. Examples include preparing foods with less fat by baking versus frying, purchasing items like cereals and fruits with less added sugar, and focus on eating foods in their natural state versus adding a lot of extra fat, sugar, and sodium. Keep in mind that empty calories are not always a bad thing. In fact, empty calories can help promote eating more nutrient-dense foods. Adding a little fat or a sugar to a nutrient-dense food can add flavor, making the food more enjoyable. A teaspoon of sugar in oatmeal or a teaspoon of butter on steamed vegetables is a great way to include empty calories. In these cases, the calories come packaged with other nutrients, since they are added to whole foods, whereas the empty calories in soda come with no other nutrients, only added sugar.